The spectacular 15-hectare Botanical Gardens on Durban's Berea is a green gem that has the distinction of being the oldest botanical garden in Africa. It was created more than 150 years ago, and it exudes an aura of peace and tranquility. Over the years, it has become home to a number of threatened Cycad collections. Behind me is one of the rarest plants on Earth. It's the male species of the woodii Cycad. In 1895, John Medley Wood discovered this last remaining cycad in the Ngwenya forest in Zululand. He brought it here on an oxen cart, and it has remained here ever since. It's approximately 300 years old now, and they survived to 1,000 years old. There are no female species on this earth. In fact, in Kew Gardens in the UK, through a clone of the male, they're trying to create a female species. It's going to take many years. 3 clones of the male here, and they are looking after them very carefully to ensure the remaining species survive. There are over 80 trees in the Durban Botanical Gardens that are heritage trees that are over 100 years old, and this is one of them. The Kauri pine tree, 117 years old. It's originally from Australia, and why it was so significant is that it grew, the trunk grew so strong and straight that it was used during the shipbuilding times. Now we have the wonderful sparrowhawks nesting in it on an annual basis. They come back. We're walking towards the Alalawan palm tree. This is an indigenous tree, and this one is 145 years old, and it grows extensively in Zululand, where the locals make palm wine out of it. It's interesting the way that it grows because it really looks like a sculpture. This is such an enchanting tree. It is the banyan tree, and it feels like it's moving. In fact, it's nicknamed the walking tree because as it drops its roots from its branches and it touches the ground, so the new trunks are actually grown, and it can spread out widthwise. In India, there is one that is apparently 1.9 kilometers in width. And it's so massive that they've built a temple in the trunk of the tree. It's a very sacred tree to India. This is a stunning sculpture done by a Cape Town artist, Jenny Cullinan, in 2007. And it's depicting the greatest shoal on earth, which is our sardine run on the KwaZulu-Natal coastline. Here are the sardines in absolute abundance. There is a whale coming up with a seal in its mouth. We have the shark behind it here, and it's really talking about the abundance of the sea life. We have a turtle on this side, and we also have the seagulls diving into the sea, also feeding off the sardines. On this side here, we have the other side of the shark and the seal in the whale's mouth. This was done on a tree that had fallen over, and she really wanted to bring about the awareness of what global warming is doing to the abundance of our ocean life. This is a unique part of the park because it reminds us of our senses. So we have an onion here, which is for smell. We have a harp, which is for sound, a chili that represents taste, and then the eyeball is the sight. And we have the eyeball that is actually crying, which reminds us of all our emotions together. In addition, they have the plants around here that feed into your sensory experience. So they have the cactus, they have the chilies, they have the lavender. So they're referring to all your senses represented in the plant life. What is really special about this park is that it has become a natural habitat for a number of bird species, particularly water birds. The water that they are attracted to here is from a natural spring and is just one of the watering holes that the Berea elephants, the last of which was seen around the mid-19th century, would have stopped to drink at on their migratory route over the Berea Ridge, down to the Greyville Marshes, the present-day Royal Durban Golf Course. Lying directly in their path over the ridge is what has become known as Elephant House, after it survived many attacks from local elephant herds who forcefully tried to remove it. Built in 1849 as a hunting lodge, who knows, maybe those early pachyderms were taking their revenge on those setting out to destroy them. It now has the distinction of being the oldest house in Durban and was saved from demolition by Elaine and Brian Agar, who bought it in the 1970s and painstakingly restored it to preserve its history. Their garden is full of indigenous plants and historical artifacts, including this old cannon from a shipwreck off Durban in the 19th century. A collection of bottles found in the garden served to create another link with the past. The view from the ridge where the house is located is a far cry from what the area looked like in the 19th century, when most of the area then would have been covered in a lush coastal climax forest.